Yeah. I know that the pick ban sort of phase in MOBAs is very different to the map vetoes. I feel like the only big
still the
thing,
kind of thing though.
yeah, when it comes to map vetoes in StarCraft, it does obviously signify how the player wants the series to play out.
Yeah.
And it's especially interesting when they let through a couple of the more unorthodox maps, like in the previous season, Golden Wall and Submarine.
Yeah, letting through like these interesting maps like Golden Wall. A map that most players that, aren't Terran or Zerg are probably gonna veto. Alongside, Purity in Industry for one. I don't think a lot of pros wanted to play that.
Yeah.
Because it was just so unstandard and abnormal. And just it wasn't a great map. Like, apologies to the map maker, but like, it's creative, don't get me wrong, but also it leads to a lot of issues. Definitely yes to more island bases though. Anyways, here we are in the top left hand corner of Romanticide LE. We have the red Zerg player hailing from Vietnam and playing for GTA team. His name is Uply.
And spawning in at the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Australian Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team Mindfreak. It is Pezz.
Dispenser.
Yeah.
The Pezz dispenser himself. The what we might call a shield Protoss within the region, up there with the likes of Probe, of course. Yeah. On that style of Protoss player.
Definitely. One of the best Protosses in the region, at least in Australia. I know when it comes to Southeast Asia, there's a lot more Protosses that are recently popping off, if you will.
Yeah. For sure. Southeast Asia and Australia region is mostly dominated by Zergs and Protoss, so it's good to see even more just kind of popping up like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. We saw a lot of them over the weekend. And okay, so to kick things off, we do have Pezz going for a Stargate opening. Okay, and we'll see what kind of variant he decides to go for. If he whips out the Void Rays, which have become a lot more common, or if he goes for Oracles instead.
It'll be interesting to see. But at the same time, I'm sure you're very familiar with my opinion on Stargate opening.
Oh.
He does get a Lingen. He's gonna see probably that there is a Phoenix. I have my settings on low, so I actually can't see that. I should probably change that, but
you
not like a scout anyways.
You probably should change that. I feel like that's an important thing to change. Not gonna lie.
Listen, it's important, but it's not like I. It's not like I scout anyways.
That's also important.
Listen, I probably should, but
It's okay. Well, we do have... Oh, wow. Okay.
Phoenix into Oracle with Twilight follow-up.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's... Especially because... Okay, so obviously first we have the Phoenix coming out from Pezz, and his goal is going to be to deny all these Overlords, deny all the scouting of Uply as best as he can. And it's so important because Pezz is kind of switching gears, and he's not committing to the Stargate at all, and he's just switching things up completely.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Something I've not seen before.
Okay, we'll see if this Oracle is able to do any damage. I mean, so far, nothing. We do have Queens all over the place. We have Spores all over the place. So defensively, Uply is okay. But here we go. He's going into the Glaven Apps.
Yep, here comes the printer. He's gonna This is both of the super boring Protoss openers you see every game in one go.
Exactly. Like, this is why I love Pezz, because he sometimes he has his own spin on things. And again, like, this is something that as a Zerg player, if you're Uply, like, you wouldn't expect this as a follow-up after Stargate, right?
Stargate is like the passive follow-up. Stargate is the opener that you're like, all right, cool, I just get to chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just build a couple of spores of your queens in position, and they can't really do anything to you. But if they go straight into a Twilight, that's like, oh, that's a threat. That's something that can try and kill me.
Ooh, and
Oracle's just annoying, and that's a lot.
It's a lot of adepts, and the shade did get spotted by this Ling, but did Uply actually see it? Was he paying attention at the time? He's making a wave of roaches, but he's also droning up a little bit as well.
Yeah, not the time to drone up, my friend. You got some things incoming. You don't want to lose them.
Oh boy.
Here it goes. He's shading right into the main. Yep, there he goes in the main. A decent Ling catch, but it's not enough Lings to be significant.
Exactly.
There is like no army here.
Yeah, all the Lings go down. We have the roaches that are kind of being split up. He doesn't commit to the shade. He's trying to kill the queen.
He does take out the queen, and he's got a very nice spot for himself, situated back here where it is not as easy to get surrounded. He should complete the shade here. Yep, and he's out into the third as more reinforcements come in from the front as well. This is pretty devastating.
Yeah, I mean, there's a decent roach count, so I mean, if he fights head on, he can actually deal with the adepts. But the adepts, they shade into the main base again. So much lost mining time.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
Okay, so Pezz doesn't kill Uply. Uply's defense was decent enough, but like it was enough to the point where Pezz, he's ahead in the economy, and again, like he wasn't ultra committing to the glaive adepts. He didn't have like a war prism across the map consistently warping in. Like he was just switching into immortals.
Yeah, it wasn't an all-in. It was just a push, and it did quite a lot of damage. And you know, he's not gonna lose a game over trying to make it win. You know. He's smart enough to know, hey, this is damage. I have an advantage. I'm going to take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And now the scary thing is that like Pezz, he's doing the Protoss thing. He's going to be getting ready for the second wave, right? And that's going to be with Immortals, Mass Sentry. We have 4 gateways on the way. We're going to see Pezz like fully saturated on 3 bases and just push across.
Hang on, I had a bit here. Every advantage a Protoss has only gets I wanted to like go somewhere with that, but I kind of lost track of it. I'm a little bit tired. I apologize. I woke up at like 1 a.m.
Oh my god. Jett, please.
And I've been awake all day.
Oh god. All right, here we go. Pezz, he's got his sentry. He has so many sentries with this army. He has immortals as well. He's reinforcing, and the important question is, how many Ravagers do we have to stop the force fields?
Only 3 light. It's not a lot when there's more than 3 force fields.
Oh yeah.
On the side of Pezz. They just kind of trap him in and keep him from pushing in. There he goes. It's a decent one. Gonna trap out a nice chunk here. Good blink backs. Chunky blinks. Gonna keep the stalkers out of danger. Another few force fields to discourage the movement of Uply's army. Gonna catch out a few more. A nice blink to the side. Gonna further his DPS onto the roaches. He's going to continue the siege here with these force fields, but he has run out of energy. But in exchange for the energy, he has heavily outtraded Uply here.
Oh yeah, he just sliced up Uply's army. It was beautiful to see. He still has a decent amount of Ravagers, but again, so many roaches have gone down.
Yeah, there's another blink forward. The warp prism not warping in, interestingly enough. But he's still just trading so efficiently, and these blinks are really nice too. This control is really nice. Another wave of stalkers coming in too on top of it. Like he's just diving.
And the Protoss is not going down. Uply realizes this. He's pulling the boys. He knows that he has to try and hold here.
Yeah, he really does, because that's not a good way to start the series.
Yeah, and it looks like maybe he just has enough. I was about to say if Pezz turns back around, then Upply's gonna be okay, but no, Pezz, he realizes, hey, I can just keep going. I can just keep pushing in.
Oh yeah, Pezz is an extremely smart player. I do not doubt that this is calculated. Oh, he's got adepts in the main. The warp prism does go down with some good biles and a late reaction, but at what cost, Light? At what cost?
Oh god, keep an eye on that drone counter because the adepts are going uncontested at the moment. Meanwhile, the main army is trying to fight with the stalkers and the immortals, and they are, which is nice, but the adepts, they blink. Oh, actually, there's a spine here. Nice.
Nice, very good positioning with the spine too. The spine does get taken out, but that, you know, it cost him all of his adepts. And at this point, it's not like they're gonna do much damage. So to be fair, 2 adepts are quite powerful with glaives. That was pretty nice.
Oh god.
I love how when they get glaives proc, they have the orange shield, like in the arc of glaives. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so Uply, he weathered the storm, but Pezz is ahead by 20 workers. It's a lot of workers.
That is indeed a lot of workers, especially as a Protoss. Protoss are like the capitalist race, right? Like the super advanced, high-tech, like expensive shit. It's like you gotta be super bougie and rich to pay for any of our good stuff. Whereas Zerg is like the Chad communist, you know, it's just like, yeah, it's whatever. I don't give a shit. Materialism is for the bourgeoisie. Here in the Hive, we don't give a shit about no materialism.
Yeah.
You see this group of lings, just throw them away, you know?
The problem is that usually, like, the Zerg have, you know, have the massive economy regardless, right? Like, they just invest in lower quality for whatever reason. But at this stage of the game, like, Pezz, he's the one with all the money right now. And to be fair, Uply, he did go for Swarm Host. He could deal some damage with this.
Yeah, he's gonna try and trade out some damage across the map with these Swarm Hosts. Swarm Host Knight is a very effective way of trading out damage. Meanwhile, push in here, the Ravager Biles discouraging, but not enough.
Oh yeah, but does snipe one of the disruptors. Only one left, and it looks like it may get focused down, but oh god, the force fields.
Yeah, the good force field's gonna save him there and continue to allow him to pump just damage into the army of Uply. A couple of disruptors join the party too, which should do good work with good connections. Here's the Nidus. Everything's come out of it. Ooh, nice disruptor hit. A blink onto the Nidus to the Tormos is gonna do a lot of economic damage here. Yeah, gets one more Tormos burst off before he finishes it off.
Yeah, Uply does push Pezz away, but Pezz did kill the 4th base. He did kill a couple of the Swarm Hosts as well, and yeah, Uply fighting without the Swarm Hosts like this, oh, he's just losing so much of his Rich Ravager.
Yeah, and that's just not, it's not good that, you know, you're just getting out traded like that so efficiently, and it really puts you at a massive disadvantage in terms of bank, in terms of economy, in terms of your income, your outcome, you know.
Oh boy. Yeah, and I think this could be it. Almost all the Swarm Hosts get taken out. Again, only a handful of Rich Ravager. He's forced to pull the boys once again. But, like, how many times can you really do that in a game, you know? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you get to a point where the boys just can't really do anything.
Yeah, they just get pulled too much, you know?
Yeah, they just kind of die. You know, they just fall over and collapse. Ooh, nice split. Gonna avoid the Ravager Biles. The boys are once again pulled. But the army here getting torn apart with some very nice splits against those Ravager Biles. And we should be seeing it any second now. There it is, the 2G. An intense one, but I'd say Pezz had it, you know, very solid.
Yeah, yeah. He was very aggressive. He had a lot of nice plays. I really enjoyed. You know, even at the end there, going into the main base with the War Prism. You know, his blinks were on point. His disruptors were on point. It was really nicely done.
It was a dominating performance from Pezz. For, you know, parts of it. As we go into game number 2, which I believe was Death Aura.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's good to see Pezz showing good performances, even in spite of the unfortunate loss at during the qualifiers. Not being able to make it this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now Pezz on fire, looking to at least make it all the way to the finals. We'll see if he can make it that far again. Uply, he did hold his own for quite some time.
Oh yeah,
like I don't think there was ever a stage where like he was like losing an entire mineral line. It was only bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah, no, Uply definitely, like, it wasn't like completely one-sided. Pezz was in control and was like showed up as like a stronger player in that game. But that's not to discredit Uply. Like, he was holding stuff pretty damn well. Right, here we are, however.
Wicked.
In the top left-hand corner of the map. The map being, of course, Death Aura LE. The edgiest of the maps. As we see the base of the purple Protoss player hailing from Australia and playing for Mindfreak SC. It is, of course, Pezz. Dispensing.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing Team GDA. It is Uply.
Alright, let's see how this game goes. Seems like a pretty standard opening so far. Nothing too special going on. We'll have to see where the tech paths go from Protoss.
All right, Jett, I've got a question for you. Got a question. So,
What's up?
What are your thoughts on Death Aura being the map that stayed from the previous season?
I don't think Death Aura is a bad map, but that's also because I'm a Zerg player and this is a pretty Zerg favorite map. Like, look at that look at the open spaces in front of the third. It's like a big valley, like the triangular third.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there. There's a nice area there to crush people on, but at the same time, it's a very strong Terran map. Like, it's got like, it's an interesting map. Honestly, I don't think it has too many problems with it. I don't think it's the best map. I don't think it's the worst map. Like, Terran players can abuse the shit out of this map, honestly. With tank positioning, there's so much you can do with tank positioning on this map. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Like that ledge on the right. It hits the third.
Yeah, as soon as you said tank position, I'm like, I know the spot. I know.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, it can definitely be rough. There are some interesting things about this map that are unique to it alone. You know, some of those things being, right, there's no perv pillar right outside the natural where your overlord can sit. Only 2 buildings and 1 unit are required to fully wall off at the natural. So it's a little bit, yeah, it's easier for Protoss players to get away with like greed when it comes to their tech and their buildings.
Yeah, you can take a quicker third, or you know, your tech a little bit quicker. Your core tech, as you don't need another gate to wall off. I mean, obviously you're gonna get another gate, but
yeah, and also because of like the smaller wall, it's easier to hold like early like ling rushes and things of that nature. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
It is a unique map.
Oh boy.
That is for sure. Oh my goodness, a hidden baneling run by.
Yeah, we've got nothing but lings on the way.
Oh, this looks like a rush from Uply. He wants to end this, and he wants to end this now. Probably looking to bane bust in here, honestly.
Yeah,
Shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, I mean, quickly looking at Pezz's vision, he has no idea that this is coming. He went for an Oracle. The Oracle's going across the map. There's no shield battery. And
now this is how you kill Sky. Stargate. Nice, he blows up the Adepts in there, and he's gonna be able to get this pylon. The Baneling's gonna do some damage here to the probes. Recall from the Oracle, but I don't think, like, an Oracle's great and all, but I don't think it's gonna be able to kill literally every single drone.
Exactly. Like, if Pezz was able to re-wall the natural, then maybe, but all the Lings are gonna be flooding in. There's more Banelings as well, oh god!
Oh, the Banelings, 2 Banelings kills them, all of them. Oh, he's back up a little bit. A decent connection, but enough to kill them. But it doesn't matter, because Pezz taps out anyway.
Exactly. GG. Uply ties up the series, and Pezz, he had no idea that the Ling Bane all-in was coming. God, he even recalled the Oracle, but by that point it was too late.
I mean, he wasn't ready. Mans was not ready. The Lings were coming. A nice, decisive, quick win from Uply, but will he be able to carry the momentum for the rest of the series? Because I don't think he can cheese this last game. I think he has to play a macro game.
He can try.
He can try, but that's the thing. You expect a cheese in a tie. You expect somebody who just wants to end it quick, you know? Wants to get it over with. So, that's not the best time to make money, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, if it's predictable, who's counting?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we are going to be loading into Oxide, and Oxide is an interesting map as well. There's a lot of rocks. Like it looks deceptively short, the rush distance, but because of all the rocks blocking all the pathways, like it's actually a little bit longer. Because of that, I don't know if an all-in is going to work out well for Uply, but I do think that something like that is probably his best bet.
Yeah, absolutely. Are we waiting on Pezz to make the... Oh, there we go.
There we go.
We got there. 1 second. Alright, let's get into the final match of the series. This map is great because he breathing, dude.
He be breathing.
The Thinker, he's oxidized.
Exactly.
Anyways, here we are, spawning in the Oxide LE. And in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player in red, playing for GDA team. Tied 1-1 in the series, we have, of course, Uply.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Australian Protoss, the purple Protoss. We have, representing Team Mindfreak, it is Pezz.
Dispenser. I just want like an image of Pezz as a Pezz dispenser.
What does that mean? You mean like his head on a pole?
Yeah.
Or...
it's like you know the Pezz dispensers, right? I just want like one of those, but like painted with his face on it.
That'd be amazing.
It'd be terrifying, but it'd be amazing. That sounds cursed as hell. Okay, we're in an early pool, so this should be an interesting opening. But it does get scattered. Pezz with the worker scout. Oh, Pezz with the quick fingers. He's gonna get the block off on the gas block.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to be cheeky.
Pezz, he knows. Pezz, he's tuned into plenty of my streams. He's like, oh, I know what this Zerg's gonna do. I know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, it's the 17 scout, dude. The 17 drone scout into the perfect hatch block. It lines up. Not the hatch block, the gas block.
Gas steel, yes.
Yeah. Steel. That's what it's called.
Exactly. So something interesting that Uply did was he did go for a pull first. So he already has his Lings out. Especially based on the parting of these Lings, part of me feels like it was like a safety pull first, but we'll see.
It was either like a safety pool first, or he just wants to like take the initiative in this match.
Yeah.
You know, go for like a poke with these, you know, the Ling Team 6 stuff.
Yeah, this honestly, this is scary. The Lings are here, and they're going to be able to kill the pylon before the Adept comes out.
Yeah, he didn't start a Zealot before this. He was like, he saw the pool first, and he didn't think to make a Zealot while his core was building.
Yeah, like when you see a pool first, you need to chrono out that first Zealot, otherwise this happens.
Oh no, he loses the pylon before the Adept gets out. I don't think he's going to have a chrono for this.
Oh god, I mean, there is a second pylon that got thrown down.
The pylon should finish, and he should be able to finish it with a quick chrono from the natural base. There we go, the Adept is out. But still, what a devastating way to just like lose a bunch of time.
Oh god, exactly. Like, I do this all the time. This is how I open up typically.
This is your ZVP open, yeah.
Like identical. You know, you go for the gas steal right in the beginning,
yeah,
and you go for a pull first to kill the pylon, and if you kill it, like things can kind of snowball from there.
Yeah, you take a massive lead because StarCraft oftentimes is a race, right? It's a race to increase your tech, increase your economy, increase your army size. And when you slow someone down like that, you pull ahead in the race.
Yeah, like, oh my god. Again, that was very, I don't know if it was like overconfidence from Pezz, or it just didn't click in his mind, like, oh, like my opponent went for a pull first. It's something that he did scout, but yeah, we'll see. What's interesting is that Uply is going for a very fast lair.
Oh, he's going quick lair. Oh, this is interesting. This is an interesting follow-up. I'm thinking fast roaches.
Yeah, like
fast roaches walk into his base, you know? Which is perfect against Stargate, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, we do have a Stargate opening coming up from Pezz. Obviously, it was delayed because of the early Lings, and we'll just keep an eye on the gases to see what exactly we're going to see coming out here. Like, are we going to see a Nidus? Are we going to see just roach speed? Are we going to see a 4th gas taken and like a fast Spire or something crazy like that?
I mean, look at it now. 3 gas. He's just saturating his natural.
I bet he's got plenty of gas.
He has quite a lot of gas, yes. He's making Lings, but he hasn't used his gas.
Yeah, so this is kind of weird because it looks like Uply is going to expand. Again, like, he went for a very fast lair. It's been done for a while. Normally, you line things up in StarCraft. Like, at the highest level of play, you get a lair for a reason, to utilize it in some way. But at the moment, he hasn't done anything with it.
Yeah, you'll have your gases and stuff set up so that you have exactly the amount you need as soon as it finishes. Like the opening I often use in ZVT, it lines up so that at exactly 200 gas, your lair finishes. Yes!
What?
Proxy hydrogen! What?
What is happening?
He's proxying! I love this!
What?
Oh my god.
Okay. This is crazy. So I've seen something similar to this, and I've seen like Proxy Spire before, because that makes a little bit more sense. But Proxy Hydrogen, I mean, this can definitely work.
Yeah, I mean, you give off the illusion that you're expanding, going to this like heavy econ focus build, you know, you're getting your 3rd base, you're droning up, you know. You're not shifting to major tech yet, because oftentimes what Zerg players do is they'll sit on Lings and Queens for like 6-7 minutes until they tech and then like get all their tech at once, right? So this looks like that, you know. This looks like your 3 base droning up, and then Hydras appear.
Exactly. The Hydras were a big surprise. What's interesting and a little bit disappointing is that Pezz, he was scouting around with the Oracles. He tagged the Hydras, so he's aware of the tech.
He knows the Hydras are here, but I don't think he didn't have anything prepared for when they pop out, right?
Yeah.
And they're already here. And his army comp doesn't look good enough to deal with this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, this is an army composition that is amazing against like a roach-based army, right? Immortals and sentries. Hydras could have a harder time, and I feel like Pezz realizes this, so I love that he's trying to throw down stasis wards to help, you know, catch some of this army off guard. And here we go, Uply, he's here with his army.
Yeah, he's gonna start lots of good damage on those oracles. Like their hull damage is, they're hurt.
They're hurting.
That's not gonna heal. So they have become glorified wards at this point.
Oh, the stasis. Ah!
Oh, he catches all the lings. That's his buffer gone. But there's no AoE. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Honestly, you can just walk up and A-click.
To be fair, Pezz, he's trying to buy time. A Colossus is on the way, and it's 70% done already. And he just needs to buy time for it to come out.
Yeah, if he can buy time for the Colossus to show up, he should be able to deal with this quite easily. The Colossi just absolutely shred Hydras, but he's just going for the front. He's going for the front door. Oh, he's a little bit split up here. This force field's in the middle, splitting up the army. The army of Pezz has a really good flank here, and cuts off the reinforcements. But some damage is being done. The Colossus is gonna go down. The Colossus dies.
The Colossus dies, but it looks like the majority of the Hydras are getting cleaned up by the Adepts and the Immortals. And even without the Colossus, it looks like Pezz may have enough.
He may have enough to hold, but I have to say this once more today. At what cost?
Because cost of a Colossus, a couple of drones as the Lings are getting in as well. But I don't think this is game-ending damage from Uply.
Absolutely not. This is really well held by Pezz, honestly. The way he played it, I think Uply took the engagement a little bit off.
I mean, a huge part of it was all those Lings at the beginning getting stasis, right?
Yeah, that was pretty massive. Not having those Lings to help with buffering and surrounding. Wait. Go back to the front of the natural. Okay, it's gone. There was a change thing there that was blocking two Adepts. He had it on hold position in the door. It's pretty funny.
Oh god.
Oh. Yep, that's a Colossus, alright.
I think part of me feels like Uply may know at this point. That little bit of juking and jiving there, I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's just like, this doesn't look good. It was a cool move, but at the same time, in a tied up situation like this, honestly, your opponent's gonna expect something cheeky, even if it's an extremely unexpected cheese.
Yeah.
It's still a cheese. You're gonna play it super safe, and that's what Pezz did, and it worked out. I mean,
yeah,
he held really well.
Yeah, and Pezz utilizing his oracles really well throughout this, not just the stasis, but earlier scouting, tagging the Hydras, spotting them pretty quickly. If the Hydras had gone unscattered for a lot longer, then it would have been a lot more difficult for Pezz to get ready for the defense. So
wouldn't have gotten the Colossus out, yeah. Even if the Colossus died, it's still a Colossus.
Yeah, the stasis wards, the shield batteries, the defensive position, everything, right?
Yeah, he was ready. He was absolutely ready for it. And it worked out in his favor. He's kind of pulled ahead in this game a little bit. As Uply's push, they relied on Pezz not knowing that Hydras are there. But yeah, it's an interesting deck search though. Searching to the Spire.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Pezz pushing forward. His army is looking a little bit vulnerable without the Warp Prism, but the Warp Prism does come back. It looked like he was trying to drop into the main, did drop a bunch of Zealots that will get cleaned up, but Pezz was able to deny the fourth base.
Yeah, that's pretty good for him. If you're ahead of his Zerg in bases, you are... It's like double ahead. It's like a head squared.
Yeah, it's always a rough position when you see a Protoss player ahead in bases compared to the Zerg. That's never meant to happen.
Yeah, and looks like we got a raid here from Flamey Blade. Thank you very much. Welcome in, everybody. We're in the semifinals of the Demi SEA Weekly.
I hope everyone enjoyed the Among Us stream from Flamey Blade. We really appreciate it. Of course, Flamey Blade, a fellow Australian streamer.
Lovely to have you all. And yeah, this is some awesome games today.
Yeah,
very good games.
It's a shame that everyone came in after the hype, as we had a proxy Hydra Den of all things, which was insane.
It's certainly something.
Oh boy.
What a game. What a game so far. I mean, 1-1 is it's a position to be in.
Yeah, what a way to round off the series in the ace match of all maps. But at this stage, like Baneling speed, it did just finish up. So I mean, maybe Uply with the best engagement. Maybe if Pezz isn't paying attention, there aren't any force fields, he may be able to take this out. But he just can't get a fourth.
If he has an extremely optimal, perfect engagement and Pezz completely blunders the fight, he can win.
There you go. Yeah, just do that.
In every other situation, it's like you know that scene in Infinity War, where Doctor Strange is sitting there with the time crystal, and he's just like, "There's 69 billion possible outcomes."
It's got to be 69, right?
Yeah, and only one of them.
There's only one like optimal scenario, and to be fair, like Uply has a really nice spread, you know, for the engagement, but he's kind of being pulled apart. Like not all of his army is there.
Yeah, he's got a nice pre-arc ready for Pezz to run into a concave, but it's not really gonna matter when you don't have your full army there. And also when Pezz just kind of walks up north.
Exactly, yeah. Pezz, he realizes that, like, you know, Uply is set up, so he's trying to find another angle to approach, and uses a couple of Banelings there, a little bit unfortunate. But Uply, like, he's got a decent corruptor count, like, he should be able to handle at least the Colossus.
Like, he's got a hell of a lot of Banes, and I think it's pretty good against, like, the spellcaster, like, this very diverse comp of, like, smaller units. Ooh, he's going for it. He's going for the engage. The Storm's pretty decent. He's flanking in with the Banelings. Very focused on the Archons, though, and these Storms are going to push him back entirely. Just so many Storms. The Corruptors go in, and GG is called. Pezz takes it out 2-1 in a pretty close series. Fairly close.
Yeah, GG. Pezz, of course, he's a solid player. Uply trying to be cheeky, I appreciate it. It was great to see. But Pezz, you know, his scouting was on point. He was ready for it in the end.